Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us for the TCR Challenge. This is season 12. It's not rounds 1 to 22. It's rounds 1 and 2. I'm Pete Bingham, and I am joined in the booth tonight, thankfully again, by Sir Alan Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, Peter.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, massive welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I sure missed my seat here, and it's great to be putting my life back together a bit. Actually, it is. And what a place to start doing that.
Yeah.
What a place to start doing that.
VIR.
New season.
Yeah.
New rebalanced cars and VIR.
Yeah, too right. It's definitely going to be a blast. We have they have turned up en masse for us. Excuse me, tonight. It's a 26-degree track. This is the TCR Challenge. I'll be amending all the graphics shortly so that it catches up with what we expect to see. And Russell Cowell, we're racing Russell Cowell, is not in the booth this season. Alan is back, fighting fit and ready to commentate on this fantastic series. We must be doing something right because we've got 5 likes already on YouTube, Alan. So that's always good. And if I just show you the depth of the field, the timing tower isn't big enough to account for all the races tonight. So we have 19, 20, 21. We've got 23 drivers, Alan.
Wow,
which is
that's looking really healthy, Pete.
It is, yeah. Super track to start with as well. I've always gone well here, even on the day that I pitted in the wrong pit box, in the wrong pit lane. Sorry. As I was focused on Cap there, Matt Elmore, and he's just written himself off. We've got a few things to note. So Wobbly's back in this. What's that? Oh, that's a lovely paint job. What does that say? Should we get a bit closer? I think we should. Hopefully it's not rude. Let's have a look. How can I get nearer to him? Does that? Oh, there we go. Baby on board. Well, that says it all for Wobbly, doesn't it, Alan? Baby on board.
Well, it's very nice to see him on the track, I've got to say. And didn't him and Russell do a grand job? And when stepped into my vacated shoes. I think they did really well by us and by me. I'm really grateful to them.
Yeah, and interestingly, we've got a really good spread of cars this time. So the the balance of performance that iRacing have applied to this series of car. If I just get rid of some of the other stuff on the timing tower quickly, so we'll just get rid of best time for now. In fact, I'll get rid of that one. There we go, and I shall get rid of that one. And I'll bring best time back into view again. Right, so yeah, the balance of power that iRacing have applied has been brilliantly received, to be honest. That's a lovely paint job, isn't it? Spectre 6 new livery for Stephen Walker.
Beautiful.
Yeah, last season's champion is... Oh, he's in a different paint as well. Sam Blees in a white geodesic livery. That's very sexy. I like that. Do you?
Well, yeah, I always like... I very rarely see bad livery these days.
No, they're very professional, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, that's nice.
Smart. Very smart indeed.
Right, so who else have we got out on track? That's a bit of a different car for Carl Hardy. We'll talk about all these as we go through, obviously. And a new livery there for Safeguard by result.
Still got the wheels though.
Still got his green wheels. Can't defer from that, can he?
No, and they're the commentator's friend in many a situation.
Yeah. Good evening to Tyler on the chat. He's vibing with Vibe, apparently. Wobbly is no more. I don't know what that means, but okay. And good evening to Anthony Jacobson. Why are you not joining us for this series? Are you that busy? All right, let's have a look. See, there's your vote for a racer of the evening already, I think, isn't it? Roger Morton, he seems to attract your votes. Let's see if he's up to the task tonight. Andrew Littler is in the Elantra again, so hopefully he'll improve on last season's performance. And
As you know, I'm totally impartial.
Oh, of course, you would never, ever be biased towards any of the Result Clothing boys. And Spencer, who is in the other team to Sam this season for Geodesic. He's got a hydro race. I wonder if I can even get on that. So if no, that doesn't do it. No, that doesn't do it either. One of these must, you would think. Oh, that one might. No, that's miles away. Good grief. No. So his rear wing is a hydro race rear wing. It's quite nice. We'll try and get a better view of it as we go through the night.
He still retained his other paint job.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still got the geodesic on there. In fact, we're going to go try and go on board with him. He's got a few minutes to do a lap. Is that the better one or is that the better one? Actually, there's no difference. So you fire it down the start straight, or the front straight as they call it, and you duck into this really quite challenging corner. That is Horseshoe. And then you make your way down here towards the NASCAR bend. Not this little kink here. That's turn 2, believe it or not. This is turn 3, and this is the NASCAR corner. You can carry a massive amount of speed through there if you get it absolutely nailed. Then you took it into these next two corners, which is 4A and 4B, affectionately known. We've been through left hook, which was just before that, and then you fire it all the way down this not straight, Alan. You must have driven here loads.
Quite a few times.
Yeah, and we go up the hill past the chalets on the Snake, which is what this is called, and then we head towards South Bend. This thing was catching lots of drivers out. They were running wide onto the grass there, picking up 1Xs and officials, and then you obviously hoon it in here to Oak Tree, but there's no tree anymore, Alan.
Oh no!
Yeah,
oh,
God bless the tree.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, and then we're on one of the longest straights that I can ever remember being on, and it's this one. It's called Back Straight. It's very thoughtful. And you head up the hill here, struggling for revs until you crest this one, and then you could hear him just gear up there. And then at the 2-board-ish, or just after for Spencer, onto the brakes in order to take the roller coaster. Not a carousel on this American track. And then flying into turn, I think this is something like 16, and this one here is called the Hog Pen. Nobody really knows why, apart from the people in Virginia. And then you're back at the start-finish straight. It's actually quite a hectic lap, apart from that back straight. My arms and thumbs, particularly from holding onto the steering wheel so tight, which I've been reliably told on numbers of occasions you shouldn't do, are killing me, because just holding on for dear life in the officials that I ran yesterday. Anthony Jacobs said he struggles for time to race at the moment. Well, that's very sad. You should always make time for the things you love doing. Ask Alan, he's got 600 hobbies, haven't you?
490.
490 hobbies, right? Okay,
yes,
so more than one per day of the year. That's pretty good going, to be fair. At the minute, last season's champion, Sam Blees, is currently holding provisional pole. He needs to hold on to it for the next 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Fastest lap.
Yeah, he has.
It'll do it for you, won't it?
It certainly will. This is, I mean, look at that. 156.9. His next nearest is his own sister teammate this time, Spencer McCarthy, on a 157.14. And then Stephen Walker, the 3 S's at the front again, Alan, 157.15. So there's not much in this. Not much in it at all.
There's a stack of people in the 157s. Cranky,
yeah.
You know.
Oh God, yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. All the way down, Jamie Jeffrey. He's nearly in the 158s, but Russell Cowell heads up the 158 mob, and then that's all the way down to 15th. Chris Needham.
Isn't it? Goodness me.
It really is. It really is. There's hardly. I mean, you can see how much orange is on there. That's how separated the field is.
This is a dangerous circuit. You know, there's some really lethal bits on this track.
Yeah,
right.
there are. Yeah, I think that's going to be Stacey or Stant, as we call her, because we don't know whether it's Stacey or Ant that's chatting. Obviously, Ant Woodward, new to this series. He's not on track at the moment. He's in the pits. He's got provisional 14th at the moment.
Great, nice one.
Yeah, he's a new addition. So NQR, Never Quit Racing, are represented here, SimAbility sponsored. So that's great to see. So his fan club is online and cheering for him. And Nikolai Bogotyrev, not only did they cut the tree, they cut another tree at the finish line. Did they? Oh, the one on the right hand side as you cross the finish line. Oh dear.
Happy. They are really.
They really are. Yeah, brutal. We've got. Oh no, we haven't got. So who else is on track at the moment? Anyone? Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I'm a bit of an Ant fan.
Yeah.
I like him. I enjoy his driving.
Yeah, too right. Russell Cowell has joined the Audi club. He's trying to do practice starts, and I don't blame him. It's pretty brutal, to be honest, standing starts in this particular series of car. So we're going to go to the grid. So I'll run us through our runners and racers for our first heat, round one of the BSTV TCR Challenge Season 12. Your poleman is, no surprises, Sam Blease, last season's champion for Geodesic Racing White. Spencer McCarthy goes off second, his sister teammate this time, just to remind everybody. Then we've got Stephen Walker for Spectre 6, the number. Gary Craig, fourth. That's a great result there for BSTV. Wobbly kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink in that Crybaby Baby on Board livery. Don't know who thought that one up. In fifth, Mark Draper is in sixth for Sim Racing Grid Honda. Carl Hardy seventh for Safeguard by Result. Jamie Jeffrey off 8th for CCR. Matt Elmore off 9th for Spectre 6, the letters, with his teammate next to him, Russell Cowell. Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera, goes off 11. No Simon Trendle this season. He's having a season off. 12th is Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports in his return. Obviously, he's driving the Audi. 13th is Tony Yates for Sim Racing Grid Honda. And Woodward is off 14th for Never Quit Racing. JB Deju, that's a good result for his qualifying, is off 15th for BSTV. Chris Needham off 16th for Air Smart Racing, a new team, replaces RWC. Tony Walker off 17th, Spectre 6, the number. Matt Flannery off 18th, Geodesic Racing. Arnaud Chenonnier off 19th, Air Smart Racing. Jason Haddington off 20th for Air Smart Racing 2. David Ayres off 21st for Result Clothing. Safeguard by Results, Roger Morton off 22 and 23. And last is Andrew Littler for Result Clothing. I managed to get through all of that as they get ready with the revs.
Green flag.
And we are go. Oh, Gary Craig, look at that. Oh, like a rat up a drain pipe, straight through, into third. And actually, Spencer has lost 2 positions off the start. As they start getting a bit crowded further back. Mark Draper getting shuffled. Not too far. Bit of door banging in with that. With Jamie Wilson, maybe Jamie Jeffrey involved in that. No, he's behind it, sorry. That must be Matt Elmore then getting his elbows out as we see smoke around Wobbly. No surprise there. There's who's that? Who is that?
That's a pack, goodness me.
That's Stephen Walker. We're going to have to look at that again in a minute, Alan, because that's a hopeful off. Oh, God, we've got them flying off everywhere. Crybaby, Baby on Board, Wobbly is off as well. It's not a good day for the Honda so far. There's 2 of them now towards the back. As they go hooning it towards the snake here. Oh wow. Sam Blease has got himself a... He's got himself roughly a calendar month between himself and second place Spencer, who's well off track, which is what lots of people do at South Bend.
How did Sam do that?
I don't know, but I think it's got a lot to do with the Stephen Walker incident. Ant Woodward in his Wild Rides livery, that is, for NQR. Sorry, I hadn't spotted that before. We'll get a bit of a close-up on that car in a second. I think TV2 gets us a bit nearer to it as they go up the hill for the first time towards the roller coaster. Let's have a look at this Wild Rides NQR livery. There it is. It's nice. Like it.
Very nice. Tasteful.
Very nice. Wobbly Kneecaps and David Ayres are in the pits.
Oh no.
I'm afraid so.
Was David involved in that as well then? Oh.
He must have been somewhere along that. I'm going to go back and find out what happened. Good God, I'm having to scroll miles back to find out what happened to Stephen Walker. Let's have a look. So, excuse me. Let's go on the chopper. So he's gone into here. Oh, he's been assisted off the track. We'll call that by Spencer. And we saw Spencer off track later on as well. So that was what happened there.
Tricky corners to judge the braking.
Yeah, Clyde shouted for JB for the win. I think it was for the championship actually. But I think it's at the moment favouring Sam Blees and Geodesic in general. As everybody comes flying through.
It's a 20-minute sprint race. There's not an awful lot of time for people to close big gaps like that. Especially at Sam, you know. When he's putting in passengers' laps, he's in clear air, and he's not having to worry about all this traffic around him. And
I know.
everybody else is. Look at this. I mean, it's ferocious out there.
Look at the time difference he's got on that one lap. 2:07.6 versus 2:11. What on earth? That's unreal. So it's mad, isn't it? So Jamie Wilson up 6 places, obviously due to the issues that others were having around him, as well as overtaking some cars from the start. And look at this, Gary Craig, door to door in it with Mark Draper, and oh no, a tyre off. Oh. And somebody else got caught there. I think it was. Oh gosh.
Did it, Gary? Or did it hit that fence? Oh, crikey.
That's pretty messy, it has to be said. And he's reset to the pits, and there's some crabbing cars coming round.
Oh, he must have had the fence. Oh, that's
he must have done. Yeah, that's a pretty crowded house in the pit lane at the moment, so everybody else carries on as they were. Gary Craig now in the pits as well. Race direction, oh, he's flinging that round the corner, Sam Blees. Race direction was wondering there whether it was a yellow moment, a caution, a full course caution moment, but didn't block the track for long enough.
Cars in the pits as well.
No. Yes.
Oh dear. JB.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cars in there at the moment. But for other cars, it's a bit of a bonus. So look at Russell Cowell, 4th place, up 6 places. Jamie Wilson up 8 places. Certainly a dramatic start to this season. Spencer McCarthy's just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:58.9.
Spencer's finding his feet nicely. Nice to see Jamie up there, isn't it? That's great.
Yeah.
And Russell, great to see Russell in 4. Great to see him on the track. He is racing now, for sure.
yeah.
And
Carl Hardy on a bit of a recovery drive now. I think he got sideswiped and all that, but we're going to have to see what the cause of it all was. It looked like Mark Draper getting a tyre off and spearing into Gary Craig. I'm still trying to find the... here we go. This may tell us what happened in full. So heading towards roller coaster. Mark Draper's the car on the right-hand side for those of you new to watching this. Oh, yes.
Braking zone.
Yeah, ooh. It is. And he clipped... Oh, he's taken out a few cars there. Oh, gosh. Who was that in the foreground? That was somebody else crashing on their own. I have no idea.
And put the brakes on.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that would be.
Locked up and chaos ensued.
Oh, I think it was Arnaud Chenonnier. Has he gotten a tyre off as well? Oh, he has. On the other side. Oh, my God. And he's absolutely mullered, JB. So Clyde's curses are very, very strong. Because he was voting for him for the championship. Don't think that's happening now. Right.
We like a bit of optimism.
We do. So, another new racer to us. I can hear tyres ahead. Oh, it's Russell Cowell. He's not racing. He's not racing.
He is. Come on, Russell.
So he's having to fend off Jamie Jeffrey now. A lot of these cars will find themselves in high points paying positions now, Alan, because some of the fastest cars are laps down and at the back.
Yes, and we've got a bit of variety of cars as well, haven't we, by the looks of it?
We've got a lot of variety of cars, so I haven't actually toted them up yet, but there's definitely at least 3 Audis, which Russell Cowell is the highest performing one of those. Car of choice for...
Is that a Veloster there, looks like?
Oh,
so,
yeah. Car of choice for the champion. I've just read Adam's latest message, but I'll respond to that in a minute. Car of choice for the champion is the Elantra, and doing very well, seeing as he's got 2.8 seconds over his own sister teammate in the first Veloster. In terms of Velosters, it's hard to tell because I've all got the same emblem on my SDK screen. But there's at least 4 or 5 in the field. First Honda at the minute is Jamie Wilson, the stalwart Honda driver. The performance of that car is significantly better than for last season, I'm led to believe. I've not driven it myself, I've driven the Veloster. Adam says, wobbly out first lap, great day. There are some that would agree with you on that point. It's going to bring up the track map so you can see how strung out this is now. This is a sprint race. Don't forget, folks, you've got a 40-minute feature race. I am not going to extend grid in this time. I'm going to rattle through the grid for the second race as quick as possible. These cars are limited to 30 laps worth of fuel. There will be a pit stop in the second race. There is not a pit stop unless you are forced to do one, as so many have done on this first race of the season, as people get to grips with the car, the track and the conditions. And one significant feature that hopefully somebody's noticed on the viewership is we're running the league this time at the same time of day, like race time of day, as the officials are. So this is getting on for later in the evening, sim time. It's about 6:05 when the race started, and it will start to go a bit darker. You can see the sunset already creeping in, can't you, Alan? Track's looking a little bit rouge.
Very nice sort of colour changes.
Yeah, and here we go. This is on. There's quite a few battles brewing right now, actually. It starts
to go up again, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. As
it's spreading out a little bit, and we were getting a bit of a breather there because when they were so close, any small incident was affecting so many cars.
Well, we got the
space down.
Yeah.
A bit of breathing space, but
so cool. Tony Yates got a number done on Jamie Jeffrey there, and not far further back, Ant Woodward had to succumb to the attentions of Stephen Walker, Lucky Wookie Walker, who, by the way, was stone last after his off-track. He is now in 7th place.
Flying.
Absolutely resplendent in that Honda.
Lovely paint.
So,
driver as well.
Yeah, just responding to Adam's second comment, which is concerned that you can't see Simon Trendle. He is actually focusing on the V8. You're knackered, mate. He's not doing this season so that he can do better in the V8, like he needs to. And Tyler says, is race 2 going to be a night race? I'm not sure it won't be, is the answer to that, as JB gets out of the way on the right-hand side there. So, nice sportsmanship for him, letting the lead pack go through. Roger Morton is on it like a car bonnet. He's another Audi this season.
Yes, a lot of pondering went into that decision.
Really?
Yeah, it's. I think it's quite. It's been quite. I think it's been quite a difficult decision. All of a sudden, last season it wasn't a difficult
No, it was
decision.
dead
This
easy last
season,
season. It just wasn't
it's,
competitive.
yeah, this season has become a much harder decision. What was right?
So, run you through the top 5. You can see it on your towers anyway. This is your race leader, last season's champion, Sam Blees, for Geodesic Racing White. Spencer McCarthy is in second place for Geodesic Racing. Jamie Wilson is your third place man at the moment. And we'll take that bottom step of the podium if it finishes like this in the next 7.5 minutes. Russell Cowell, do not adjust your sets, folks. Russell, we're commentating Cowell, is actually in 4th place. I know it's been a crazy race, and that's possibly contributing to it, but he's clearly quick in that Audi. Then we've got Tony Yates in 5th. First season with us and doing rather well. It's like the Great Wall of Honda done slightly differently as Stephen Walker turns into the snake a bit earlier than Tony in front of him, but he's catching him rapidly. I think this is going to be the next overtake that we see, so we'll stick with this. And that is your top 6 at the moment. And I'll finish the top 10 once we see what Stephen Walker can do with the exit from Oak Tree. An exit there is very valuable, isn't it, Alan?
Well, it's essential actually. If you don't get a good exit from there, all the way up this hill, you're dying.
Yep.
And it's red numbers and really quite depressing. Because it's a very long way, isn't it?
It is.
Losing time.
And Tony's let him go there. He was onto the brakes earlier, and I think Stephen was onto the brakes later anyway. And he's away, look. He's already gapped him. So and that's that job done.
At the end of that really long way to lose time, you're confronted with this amazing drop-off and circular down the hill twisty bit that catches people out.
Yes.
Time after time.
Yeah, it's a challenging track, this, but very rewarding when you do manage to get it right. Stefan Goebel, didn't focus on him at the start, but he is back with us for another season. Currently running 13th, 1 place down from where he started, so he's doing all right. That's Jason Kiley Haddington, who is in the car in front of him. New race team, new race livery, obviously. There's a couple of them knocking around. Chris Needham is another one. He's in the red version of the same car, but in the other team. And then there's a third one, which is Arnaud Chenonnier in the green one, which clashes a little, I think, with the result clothing one. He's gone the extracurricular lawnmower route just through the bottom of back straight there. And everybody's calmed down. So the rest of your top 10, Jamie Jeffrey is 7th for CCR in the Durex sponsored Elantra. Then we got Ant Woodward for NQR, who's doing all right in his first race in this series. He's in 8th place, up 6 places from his start, and that's a really good result actually. He will be the poleman for the second race if it stays as it is, because we are reverse 8 still. Matt Flannery, Geodesic Racing, is in 9th, and then rounding out the top 10 is your vote for driver of the meeting, Roger Morton, up 12 places and the furthest forward.
His case, is he?
He's not. This is a good case for it, to be fair.
But yeah, I think it's more about who's kept out of trouble, isn't it?
On this particular race, yes. And we should remind everybody, these races are not normally as accident strewn as that. Race direction was only probably one more car away from yellow in the full course there. As Jamie Jeffrey has got into good company here with Ant Woodward. In fact, there's these 4. You could throw a little blanket over. Gary Craig scything his way back through the field on a recovery drive that he really needs. That's that overtake, I think, probably done. He just needs to outbrake Chris Needham, and you can do it in the Veloster. You can brake extremely late in that car, I've found. Much later than the Elantra for sure.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, honestly,
last season?
no, it's a change in the performance. You can absolutely stamp on the brake in that Veloster now, and you brake very, very late, in my opinion. Spencer's kind of proving it as well.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah, that's interesting because Cole's gone to Veloster.
And yeah, it's not shown for him in this race because he got caught up and hit in that incident. Oh, who's that? That is your man, Mr. Morton. Oh, I thought he was going to get alongside Matt Flannery then. He wasn't able to do it, but these four are very, very close together. I think
this is good for Roger. He's driving with some classy drivers here. It's nice to see.
Oh, he's right up there. Yeah, JB in the distance there is a lap down, just to be sure, be clear with everybody. And cars that didn't rejoin the race for this one was Tony Walker and Wobbly.
Yes, shame that Wobbly just fell off the bottom, really.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing him putting a bit of pressure on the front and having a bit of a dice, but still, next time.
Oh, actually, I think Tony Walker. Oh, he's literally just entered the pits. My bad. And it's because of this, I think. Or is this him? Oh, he's already been in at this point, by the way. Just to let you know. So he's left the pit road. I think he's then found out his car's much more damaged than he thought it was, and then reset again. So not a great day so far.
Unfortunate.
As these four keep piling around this corner. So the gaps at the front there, you can see them. Sam Blease has got a 2.7 second lead over Spencer, who has in turn a 6.6 second lead over Jamie. Yeah, then we've got 7 seconds back to Russell, who is getting into close company now. His sister teammate, and arguably another geodesic racer, because really it's Spectre 1, I think Russell calls it now, instead of Spectre 6. Stephen Walker is closing in on him. The tractor beam is out, and given the fact that he was at the back of the back of the queue after getting shouldered off the track by Spencer in the very early stages of lap 1, he's doing a great job recovering this car, isn't he?
You get kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many times have we seen this happen?
Oh no!
Really, you know.
It's too regular, isn't it? It's too good. If anybody can be too good. Who's your standout racer so far in this race, then, Alan?
Oh, that's a hard one, I think. Well, you know, Sam's had it easy, but he's been at the front all his time and just doing what he's had to do. But now he got that gap early on. It's just
unreal,
amazing.
wasn't it? Unreal. lap 2, he had like 3 second lead. He's got less than
Since
that now.
He's settled down, you know, I think people who are at the front are actually doing well to hold their positions because, you know, they're probably slightly out of place. There's people who are now coming back through the field who would have been battling with them earlier.
Yeah.
And
I hope Stacey's watching because here it comes. Ant Woodward on the inside of Jamie Jeffrey. Jamie Jeffrey races cars in the real world. Oh, that's a bit of Rubbins racing there. That's nice. I think Ant will appreciate that. Oh, he won't appreciate the slowdown he's about to get because that is what that is. And they've lost the 2 cars behind. Oh,
I'm liking what Jamie's doing, and I'm liking what Russell's doing.
That is Matt Flannery well off the track.
Oh no.
It is, and I think we're on white flag lap. I think this is the final, so I'm going to keep skipping back.
Because
this has got to be a multi-21.
Roger?
Yes.
Oh no.
He was at one point, he's not anymore. We're going to have to look at that later, because this is still on. Russell's fighting his sister teammate, Stephen Walker. No, he's not. He's let him go. So, Sam Blease last season's champion is your race winner.
He made that look too easy, didn't he?
He did. Spencer McCarthy steals a point away from him, though, with the fastest lap of the race. And what a result here. It's a long time since we've seen a Honda on the podium. And Jamie Wilson has brought that back in resplendent fashion. And then Stephen Walker, what a recovery. Russell Cowell, what a performance. Commentated
did Stephen get past Russell then at the end?
He let him go, yeah, as he went into roller coaster. Tony Yates in his first race with us, a 6th. You would never turn that down. That's awesome. No. And then other racers finish. Ant Woodward in his first race with us in 8th place. Brilliant. Wow.
Yes, no.
That's crackers.
Very interesting race, and I'm not sure that it's told us very much, to be honest.
Well, this is close still. This is close still. Oh, wow. Who got that in those two there? I think Matt Flannery just about kept Jason Haddington behind him, but that was very, very close. We'll find out in the results later on. Let's see what happened to Matt Flannery before we give you the race result. So he's gone into the corner here. Rogers behind him. He kind of lost it himself a little, and then Roger did the rest of it for him. And then Rogers slowed right up in order to try and let him back through again. But then Matt has decided to go and get the rotary blade out on the bottom of his car and then rejoin the race.
Never like to see these things happen.
No, you don't. And it's an occupational hazard for racers, I think. Arnaud Chenonnier is still finishing, and that's a stylish way to finish. Very nice. And there we go. So, let's have a look at the race results from Heat 1. So, your race winner, last season's champion, Sam Blease, takes home all the points that he could do from race 1, apart from one. And that is the one that Spencer McCarthy took away, finishing second with the fastest lap of the race. In second place, Jamie Wilson finished third for Team Chimera. Stephen Walker finished fourth on a mega recovery drive for Spectre 6. Russell Cowell finished in 5th place for Spectre 6. Not bad for a commentator. 6th was Tony Yates for Sim Racing Grid Honda. Jamie Jeffrey finished 7th for CCR. Ant Woodward finished 8th in his first race for NQR. Should point out again that it's Tony Yates' first race with us. No stranger to this car though. Matt Elmore finished 9th for Spectre 6 of the letters. Roger Morton in 10th for Safeguard. Gary Craig on a recovery drive finished 11th, and that's pretty good. He was one of the first cars that got absolutely mullered for BSTV. Matt Flannery in 12th for Geodesic Racing. 13th was Jason Kiley Haddington for Airsmart Racing 2. His sister teammate Chris Needham finished 14th for Airsmart Racing. Carl Hardy finished 15th after getting quite a heavy hit, really, for Safeguard. Mark Draper finished 16th after causing the mayhem, getting his tyres off on the right-hand side for Sim Racing Grid Honda. Arnaud Chenonnier for Airsmart Racing finished 17th. David Ayres 18th for Result Clothing with his teammate Andrew Littler in 19th. JB Dejoux, after spending quite a time in the pits, finished in 20th. 21st was Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports. He got tangled up in it all as well. Tony Walker finished 22nd for Spectre 6, and then Wobbly, BSTV Esports Pink, cried out like a baby at the very start of the race when he got shouldered off the track. So who knows if he'll rejoin us for the next one. That was quite dramatic, Alan.
Wasn't a quiet start, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was mental. We've got Stephen Walker doing the craziest of tyre warming as we look upon this redone track. This Alan,
yes.
They've remapped it. They've done the whole lot.
I haven't driven it since they've done that, of course, because I haven't been driving much. But
no, you need to get.
I hope they haven't ruined it, because I really liked it before. But I was a big fan of that tree, being a bit of a tree hugger by nature.
Yeah. I mean, it's a massive track, this. It takes a long time to get round, even in these cars, as Stephen Walker practices his pit entry. Who else is on track? Tony Walker's doing exactly the same, because they're part of the same team. David Ayres is out on track at the moment. Nobody else is bothering. The pit lane entry here is not challenging, really. It's fairly straightforward. You run straight into it in kind of, reasonable fashion. It's not like some of the tracks where you're absolutely hammering the brakes into it, or it's blind off a really tight corner. This one's quite pedestrian, but I would hazard a caution to any driver mullering it into the pits. You don't get much braking zone up the hill there, but the hill does help. So let's see what they make of that. What's your make of the first race then, Alan?
Well, I think, there's not a lot of new drivers, and there's always going to be a period of settling in, I reckon. But of course, we had a bit of upset early on in that race, and it jiggled things around quite a lot. But I have to say, the people that got moved up, they kept their places pretty well.
Yeah, they did, actually. Yeah.
They kept going. No retirements from that end of the field, and I think we can all be pretty happy with what happened, to be honest. And we had a couple of really nice fight backs driving through the field. I don't think this is a bad place to overtake.
No, there's some good places to overtake. There's some places you should never even attempt it, because it's very much a one car fits situation. But yeah, you're right. There's plenty of places that you can. It's not sending it here either, is it? It's sailing it into the corner. That's the right terminology, I think. You kind of sail it into the corner, stay off the brakes, let it roll through, and then get on the brakes as late as you can. It's not a proper send because the track lends itself to that sort of racing. I think this track is tremendous. It feels good to drive. It feels like you're in an event. Right, yes. So.
Well, when you're going up there, sneaky bit up the hill, you never feel comfortable. It's always on your toes on here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's run through this grid. Ant Woodward goes off as the pole man for race 2.
Really interesting, isn't it? Goodness.
No pressure. Jamie Jeffrey on the front row next to him. In second place, Tony Yates in third, Russell Cowell in fourth, Stephen Walker in fifth, Jamie Wilson sixth, seventh is Spencer, 8th is Sam, your race winner from race 1. Matt Elmer off 9th. Roger Morton off 10th. Gary Craig off 11th. 12th is Matt Flannery. Lots of people out of position, Alan, from where they would normally be. Jason Haddington, 13th. 14th is Chris Needham. 15th, Carl Hardy. Mark Draper, 16th. 17th. I'm not going to get it finished because we're going racing. You can do the rest yourself, folks. This is where the action is. And we're away. Right. Watch for Gary Craig. He's the fastest car in the West. His name should be Ernie. He's not a milk float. And look at Ant Woodward go. Whoa. He's away. Oh, and there is a crowd chasing him. 4 wide, 5 wide, 6 wide. Who knows? Lots of shuffling.
Guys. Goodness me. This is hairy business, isn't it?
It is.
You can feel it. Goodness me. Look at this streaming around here.
Yeah, Wobbly's getting shouldered out here.
Out of line. This. You see, Wobbly's on the track. This is great.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on at the back there, but there's all sorts going on. Oh, and Wobbly's off again.
Oh, Wobbly.
Andrew Littler
okay.
is also...
Come on, Andy.
So Wobbly's got the recovery drive from hell now. He's got the fastest Sector 1 time, which probably says everything, as we join the front of this massive train of cars. Ooh, that was a bit dicey from Roger.
Oh, this is really going to be a great snake. These people are going to be trying everything they know and everything they can do to keep their places. Because, the reverse grid's put these people, like you say, Pete, it's put some of them in promoting them into some scary spots, but they will want to hang on.
Oh,
Nobody's
definitely.
going to want to let anything go.
No. Flashing lights from Gary Craig, that needs to be banned straight away.
Oh, they're all at it.
and from Matt Elmore. There's a points deduction for both of them, because I know they're listening to this. Oh, right. So Tony Yates' connection is not great at the minute. He's been strobing in and out on my screen and on the SDK timing screens. So something to watch out for there, as everybody goes everywhere.
Yeah, well, running second. This was great for him, isn't it? Wow.
It was brilliant. So what's going on here? So Tony Yates defending. Stephen Walker is going to try and go around the outside of Jamie Jeffrey. That's not going to work. Now he's under threat from Spencer.
Oh, this is nose to tail. We need to keep those cars straight, chaps. Goodness me, this is tight.
Yes, it is. Oh,
Is that something on the grass there?
I don't know, was it?
Yeah, I thought I saw something.
Jamie Wilson doing really well again. He's down a position from the start, but I think he's going to make up some places, yeah.
I think you're right about the car, the pace of that car this season. That's
I have to say,
more.
Ant Woodward, what on earth have you been eating? Because he's out front and he looks comfortable at the minute. I've just probably cursed him.
He's a good driver, you know. He's V8, isn't he? So, you know,
he is, yeah.
This is probably like he's thinking, oh, this is nice.
Oh, wow.
Afternoon drive out.
Jamie Wilson. He's been eating red meat. What's this? He's baying for blood here. Did you see the line he took through that last corner? Good God. That was very impressive.
I think this car's inspiring him, you know.
Yeah, there's all sorts going on ahead of him.
Pace in it, you know, for the first time in how long he's really relishing the prospect, isn't he?
He really seems to be, yeah. Oh, and there goes Tony Walker again. Tony Yates, sorry, my apologies. I don't know where is he back? Yes, he's back. Oh, yeah, that's not good. He's come back inside Stephen Walker's car. He's gone again.
Ooh,
he's gone full Bingham now. That is what that's called.
Oh dear.
That's something that was named by Jamie Wilson. Going full Bingham means your car disappears for long periods of time and then reappears again, because I was doing that. Ooh, too wide ahead.
Only in the worst possible place then.
He may well have been told by his teammates, because he's vanished again there, and is around Jamie Wilson, who won't appreciate that. He's obviously... Where is he? Oh, he's on the grass. I think he's having real connection problems, which is a massive shame.
Oh, yes, that is a shame.
I think he's got damage. No, he hasn't. I think he has, actually. Front right, that looks creased up to me. So, I think he's ended up incurring some damage there. But anyway, we'll have to carry on, as Matt Flannery is under a lot of pressure here from Carl Hardy. Like a bag full of pressure.
Well, you know, old friends.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be gentlemanly, but there won't be any quarter given, will they?
Oh, no, not at all. There's bragging rights on offer here.
Sam's just in front now, isn't he? So
he is the car, yeah, the white car just cresting the hill, yeah. Oh, Carl's popped out of the slipstream. He's on the wrong side for the... Oh, he's let him go. Matt Flannery just let Carl Hardy go. Okay. Gentlemanly conduct award. Already won. Jamie Jeffrey suddenly on the back of Ant Woodward. And that's fairly inexplicable. Ant Woodward must have had a moment to have lost that amount of time. Although, no. It's just that Jamie Jeffrey had an absolutely blinding lap and took over a half a second out of him. And that's Spencer, isn't it? In third, of course.
Wow. He's closed that gap
very quickly,
wow, hasn't he?
Jamie Jeffrey What car control was that? That's amazing. Ant Woodward getting shuffled back. He's made himself a nuisance in front of Spencer, but that's
What's
fine.
going on the inside now?
Yep. Lots going on in this race.
Right. Oh, Spencer's trying to follow him through. Oh, goodness me.
Ah, right. So headlights
These
are
at the
on.
front are getting away, aren't they?
They are.
Making a gap here. Goodness, they're going like the clappers.
And that's the next little group of cars. And then we've got a little bit of broken up traffic. Stefan Goebel going very well. He's up 8 places so far. So good effort.
Great to see Stefan back with us.
Yeah. Tony Yates.
Really, isn't he, you know?
Yeah, Tony Yates hopefully has sorted out his connection issues. And Mark Draper, we're going to have to find out why he's that far back. He shouldn't be. Andrew Littler has just entered pit road, and I don't know why. So I'll move us back to the pointy end where it's all at. Ant Woodward in 3rd place now. So let's just see what happened there. Into Oak Tree this will be, Alan. Late on the brakes. And that's what I was saying. Just roll it through the corner. Carry the momentum through. Are you still with me?
Still on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Essential that you get that corner right. Absolutely essential.
Yep.
Because it's so long to suffer if you don't.
Oh, yeah.
I've had that pain for so long, you know, coming up here. And people are just going past you and pulling away and making gaps. And it's all happened in a fraction of a second going around the corner.
So, Ant Woodward, are you watching my stream or are you watching the stream, Alan?
I'm watching both.
Are you watching both? Right, okay. That's cool then. So, Ant Woodward, do you reckon he's used his tyres up? Do you reckon that his tyres are too hot? Because he was right at the front and he was keeping it pretty clean, and now he's getting attacked for.
Yes.
He's going to lose 3rd place shortly to Stephen Walker. I know Stephen Walker's ridiculously quick, but
yeah, you'd expect. Well, I would expect Stephen to get by in this situation, but yeah, it's. I'm surprised to see Andy dropped out because he had such a great lead and he was driving so well. And you know, Jamie's obviously, well, we know about Spencer, and Jamie's obviously a lot of pace all of a sudden.
Yeah, definitely. And Stephen Walker around the outside at the first phase of Roller Coaster. Jamie Wilson still doing really well. He's going to end up with some great points for Team Chimera. He's on his own in Team Chimera this season, but he's doing fantastically well here. And I think he's had red meat, like I said before, because he's putting loads of pressure on Matt Elmore.
I think it's the car, you know, Pete. I think just
Yeah?
having that new and improved car after they've stuck loyally to the thing through the hard times, I think it's inspired him. Nice to see Wobbly still on the track.
Yes, and he's about to get himself Roger.
Sadly, just behind Roger.
Yeah, Wobbly is ultra quick in this car on this track because he's been doing it in officials and winning officials with ease, I should add, which is really annoying for me and for Adam, who's probably still listening. But yeah, he's having a struggle tonight, that's for certain, and it'll be interesting to find out why that is. As he goes around the outside of Roger Morton there, and his next scalp is going to be... Oh, that's a car well off, and that's David Ayres. So I don't know what the cause of that was, but we kind of saw it live, but we'll have a look at it again. It's almost like he got his tyres on the... Oh, I've just pressed the wrong button, hang on. One cameraman needed, a good one, Alan. Do you know any?
I think you do a remarkably good job, Pete.
Thank you very much. So, what happened here?
My friend.
He just drove straight on.
Oh,
I think that's...
wall, you see, the car just looked sad, didn't it? And
It
that's
did.
why it was You wrecked it.
That looks like a technical issue to me. I think he's...
That was peculiar, wasn't it?
That's a
He
wheel
just arrowed
disconnection.
That wall.
Yeah, that's out of character.
Arrowed it. Look at the car, his poor car.
I don't look at the car, it made me cry.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
Jamie Jeffrey keeping Spencer at bay up until this point at least. But Spencer's on the favourable line now. Really, Jamie should have stayed right and made Spencer go the long way round because, well, it wouldn't have made much difference looking at this anyway because Spencer's absolutely mullered him by the time he gets... See how late Spencer was able to brake into that corner. And that's what I was meaning about the Veloster. You can brake so late. We've got a load of overtakes that just happened all at the same time. Oh my god. I'm going to have to play these, but we're going to have a look at this one. Watch when Spencer's rear brake, well, obviously rear brake lights come on compared to Jamie's. And look at the 2 board, so you can see where the 2 board is. So he's at the 3, no, he's at the 2 board, sorry. I mean, that's pretty late braking. That's really good. So at the same time as that pass, we had this pass. So this is Russell Cowell on Ant Woodward.
Anthony.
Yeah. He's making his way backwards. I don't know whether he's absolutely shot his tyres.
You thought they would have recovered by now.
But he's got a queue behind him now, though, hasn't he? Look, so it's not going to get any better for him. If he's already cooked his tyres, it's only going to get worse.
How's his pace looking? Is his lap times looking...
let's have a look. We'll go back live and we'll have a look at the lap times. So, we've got Ant Woodward a 158.6 and everybody around him seeing much lower 158s or 157s. So, I think he's cooked his tyres, sadly. Jamie Wilson is definitely not wanting to wait behind Matt Elmore, and I think the next time that he ends up on back straight, he's going to have a go at this, because he's now got Gary Craig breathing down his neck, who is also rapid. Who was that just peeled off? That was Sam Blease. He's not managed to do much in this race, unless he's been fuel saving for some reason the entire time. What do you think this tactic is, Alan?
Well, I don't know. You never know with Sam. Yeah, I would have thought it would have been a bit more prominent coming through the field a little bit. It's what you'd expect to see from the first race winner. We know how quick he is anyway, but he's obviously quick round there.
Yeah.
And secure, so I thought I would see a bit more from him moving through. So, but he's been happy where he's been, clearly, and he's going in the pits early, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. So, this happened like 1 nanosecond ago, but I wasn't quick enough on the button. Oh, well, no, it wasn't. It was a bit ago, wasn't it? Just going to watch this again, because it was such a good... I mean, he's nearly past him there, but he's so much later on the brakes. Look how much distance he gets before the corner even begins. Very, very
you can't defend
talented.
Against somebody who brakes like that.
You can't,
especially
can
with that amount of corner like that.
I know.
Made for.
It's obscene. Right. Okay. So, no change in this little group. This is one of the closest battles on track. There's a few at the moment. JB Dejoux is back here fighting with Chris Needham, and very close to taking a position. As we stand here, though, we've got 4 cars chasing down Russell Cowell, and in the distance there, Cal Hardy trying to get on terms with these guys.
He'll be chasing hard to get up with Gary, won't he?
Yes.
Been, good races just in the last few weeks of the previous season. They were in the thick of it all the time, very close in time.
And that peel off by Ant Woodward. Oh, he's been absolutely drawn in there by Gary Craig, who's brilliant at pit stops, as far as I can see anyway. Ant Woodward having a pit. Maybe, I don't know, will he take tyres? He shouldn't take tyres. Tyres in this series are good for the full hour.
He should do the race, really.
Yeah. He's not taking tyres, I don't think. Because I think you do fuel and tyres at the same time in this car. I can't remember. He's away again, but Gary is going to do him in the pits, and he has done, and he's away. And that's what I was meaning about Gary Craig. That is an excellent pit stop from him.
Oh, I hope we didn't go speed limit.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
I said, you won't find a more deeper thinker about racing than Gary.
No, I know.
He really analyses it. He knows the cars inside out, doesn't he? He's just such a thoughtful driver. Puts a lot into it in his head.
And one to note in this race, wobbly kneecaps. So
yes, come on, wobbly.
He kind of got shuffled to the back, ended up off track facing the wrong way. And now he's up 12 positions. All right, 2 of them are pit stops, but never mind. But he is absolutely ripping the field to pieces here. He's not got the fastest lap just yet, although he is trying to get it. I can see that. He's half a second off the fastest lap at the moment. Right, what else have we got? Roger Morton is in
still
close.
there, though. He's still going hard. That's great to see.
It is.
So what's Roger doing? Because he's
about to overtake Tony.
Down.
Yeah, he was doing really well in the first race. He's not doing as well in this one. Oh, and he's just been tagged by Tony, but he's actually come off the better of the 2 there. And he's back racing.
Nicely.
Tony's having a struggle.
What's Tony doing? Is Tony car recovered?
Well, his internet connection looks stable again. I think that was the most of his worries and woes early on. I think he's already been in the pits. Let me just double check my... No, he hasn't. He's not been in the pits. So he's due a pit stop.
Great, though, so at least we can see his car, so that's definitely a good sign.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. He's not strobing in and out anymore. I think that was catching some people unawares previously. So Spencer has decided enough's enough, I'm off. Jamie Jeffrey has now got Stephen Walker fully breathing down his neck. It'll be interesting to look at the series standings at the end of all this, because I don't know where anybody's going to be, and I think at the minute Spencer is probably the head and shoulders championship leader. Jamie Jeffrey's line through Oak Tree is brilliant. That's bizarre. I've never seen anybody do it quite like that, but yeah.
Not and get away with it.
Well, exactly that, yeah. Right, so Jamie.
Spencer, it's about time he had his golden banner, I think.
Yeah, he's probably the fastest driver that hasn't won the championship, and usually it's because he's not able to turn up every round. I think that's principally.
That's the only thing, isn't it? That's the only.
I think so, yeah. Jamie Wilson, it really is Red Rag Bull situation tonight. Doing a fantastic job. I'm enjoying this from Jamie. He's a really fine driver. It's great to see him being competitive. And I'm enjoying his racing and being bigger. Even though he's about to show my captain a rear bumper. Do they have rear bumpers anymore? Spoiler. No, I don't know what they're called now. Fairing? I don't know. But anyway, that is a job done.
That was sweet, wasn't it?
And here's another one. God, wobbly caught. Who is that? Matt Flannery, is it? Yeah, he caught Matt Flannery very quickly, and overtook him. No messing. And sets off after one of the smart racing cars. I think that's Chris Needham. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Good spot, Alan.
I like that red car. It's distinctive,
isn't it? Yeah. I tell you what, the green, like Carl Hardy's car.
Yeah.
It seems very, very greeny yellow, we'll call it. It seems very, very popular because Gary Craig's car. Yeah, is very similar. And one of the Air Smart racing cars, I can't remember which one it is now. Is it Jason? No, it's he's orange. Oh, it'd be Arnaud Chenonnier, who is not on track at the minute, is he? I don't know.
It's because it's the trademark colour for Safeguard.
Is it really?
We use it, yeah.
Right, okay.
Same as the orange and black is the trademark colour for work guard. Red and white is the result colour.
Gotcha. All explained. You are a font of knowledge, Alan.
Well, I had one of those Facebook memories pop up today, and on this very day in 2020, we were watching the Sebring 12 Hour.
Oh, right.
And Result was taking part in their first endurance race, their first proper endurance race.
I'll tell you what, these two, first endurance race. How long ago?
Yes, the first one that was in 2020. It was the first one that we did as a team. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
This day.
Right.
In 2020.
Fantastic.
15th of March. Sebring 12 Hour.
And we just watched Stephen Walker pass Jamie Jeffrey. Jamie Jeffrey's doing a great job.
He's doing a fantastic job.
Isn't he? Yeah.
And, look who's the only people that got past him are just two of the top drivers.
Literally. So, yeah, Spencer
literally,
McCarthy.
quite literally the two top drivers.
Yeah, and Stephen Walker. Legends in this particular league and series. I tell you what, Russell Cowell's doing a good job again. For someone who talked his way through last season, he's doing a fantastic job of driving through this one so far. He's got his sister teammate, Cap Matt Elmore behind him, Captain Mandarin.
Right behind him. Well, they're very close on pace, aren't they? These two, they're like twins.
Yeah, they really are.
And, I'm glad to see Russell on the circuit. It's a funny racer. But some people, when people have a break and they come back after a season off and refresh, they just sometimes they just try, don't they?
Yeah, and he only decided to take the Audi on last night, believe it or not.
Wow.
And he's just peeled off for the pits. So he's not going to allow that to be done on track. So Jamie Jeffrey and Russell Cowell are in the pits at the moment. Wobbly goes round again. There's more joining the pit road. So that's Matt Flannery in the background. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of them come in now. We are 24 minutes, so over halfway through the race. Ant Woodward, reasonably far down the field, you would think, but he's already pitted, so his rise to the top will start now. Excuse me. Gary Craig has caught what is now Russell Cowell. So after his pit stop, Russell's come out right in front of Gary, and Gary is uber rapid round here. So we'll have to watch this one for sure. Gary's already showing his nose. We'll jump on board with him actually and see what this looks like from a.
It's not going to be. Russell won't give this away.
No, and one of the problems around this track, and you probably experienced this yourself, Alan, is when you're this close to the back of the car in front, you can't see the turning points for the corners.
No, you have to use your imagination.
You really do. You have to guess your way around sometimes. So Gary's off the gas early for South Bend, and back on the gas slightly earlier than Russell there, and he's going to sail it in.
Well, he's trying to force the issue, isn't he? And
yep. And he's got a better line out of Oak Tree. But that Audi, apparently, is really good at just launching out of corners. As the top three drivers, currently 4 drivers, have just all entered pit road. So
he wasn't making much on him, was he, there, considering he had all the draft?
You can see on your tower, the first, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars are all in pit road now. This must be the 8 cars. This must be the end of their ability to go any further. This is it, folks. We shall know very shortly.
They're on in the 157. Look at the times.
I know, it's crackers, isn't it? McCarthy, 156.9.
Absolutely amazing.
Gary Craig has basically got this done. He's going to have to thread the needle there. That is brilliant. And he's going to have a reasonable line. And Russell's bailed out. I think he got foxed by everybody round him. That's the only thing I can think. He's not managed to hit anything, which is good.
Thank heavens for that.
And
I think he got his braking wrong, didn't he? He just got unsighted or maybe on that corner.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right.
Well, at least his car is undamaged. That's really good. Because I'm enjoying his drive. And I bet he is as well.
He's doing really well.
Yeah.
Or he was. He's now, sadly, 10 places down from his start position, but he was at his start position.
He'll take you on the chin. He'll just be head down and carry on.
Oh, he'll be throwing some swear words in his own direction for that, for sure. Right, so Jamie Wilson.
Not suitable for under 18s.
Yeah, not suitable. Yeah, parental advisory, explicit lyrics. So Jamie Wilson, stop flashing your lights, Gary. I know you can hear me. So Jamie Wilson has come out behind Gary, obviously, and let's see how this Honda goes on with. Sorry, what was that?
It's gapped Carl. Look at the gap.
Yeah.
Carl.
Yep, Carl's a little bit further back down the road, leading into roller coaster at least.
They're both in the middle 157s. 157.6 the period.
Yeah. I mean, look at the.
Managed to pull that gap.
Yeah, look at the. I mean, those are fastest laps. So if we did last lap times, if I click this button, it should give me the lap times. So Sam Blease, absolutely on it like a car bonnet, 157.669. The only one that's in the 157s on that particular lap. And you can see the spread of times. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, they've all just taken fuel. A lot of these have
Yes.
just taken fuel, haven't they?
You would assume now that they're all on exactly the same amount of fuel, because whether the fuel saved the first half or not, and it's very difficult to fuel save necessarily, when the field is with so many people out of position, their normal position is, it's a false economy, isn't it now?
I don't think you can do it realistically, because you're chasing positions all the time.
You are, yeah.
And this is not the kind of track, the gradients, it's just not a place where you're going to be able to save it.
No, not at all.
It's not Sebring, is it?
Very much not, no. So Sam Blease has found himself. So you remember I was saying he's not moved forward very much from his start. He'd only moved forward one position before his pit stop. He's now in fourth place. So he's done all the work after the pit stop.
Yeah, out of nowhere. That's what when you asked me about what Sam, I was thinking, well, you can never say this, can you? Because he's just something magic. There's some magic thing that he's got. A mojo. He's got a mojo hat.
I wish I had half the mojo he's got.
Yes, indeed. Oh well, if you had a few drips would be. He's driving the wheels off that car currently. I know that. And it's resplendent in his new livery.
Oh yes, I mean I really like that livery actually. The white and the black is such a good juxtaposition against what was already a good paint scheme for Geodesic. He's lining up Jamie Jeffrey here. I don't know when this is going to happen, but it's not going to be. He's not going to want to wait too long, because two cars in front is his nemesis from last season, Stephen Walker.
Not easy though, because Jamie's driving really well, isn't he? Crikey, he's what a performance this is by him.
Yeah, and he races in the real life, in the real world rather. Yeah. So he's got pedigree. He knows what cars are capable of and what they're not capable of. A little bit further back, just a little bit further back down the road, is this battle here. So this is Jamie Wilson still chasing Gary Craig.
Gary. I was just going to ask you how they were getting on.
Yeah, and they've not got that far to go before they find Matt Elmore. They are turning laps faster than him by about 0.2 at the moment. So they will be with him shortly.
That's interesting. They're not slowing each other down then, really, are they?
No.
So that's interesting.
So 2
Because they could
Velosters.
be, couldn't they? They could be,
Yeah. So we've got
potentially.
Spencer McCarthy in a Veloster. Last season, that was likely to be an Elantra. Stephen Walker in a Honda. Last season, that was likely to be an Elantra. The first Elantra we find is Jamie Jeffrey in 3rd place, and he's being hounded by another Elantra. So, I think the balance of power, whatever they've done, performance rather, whatever they have done has been excellent.
Yes. Well, I think it's probably the best rebalancing that I've ever seen.
It's at the moment it's standing up head and shoulders above. Oh, as Spencer McCarthy does the fastest lap in a Veloster. Good evening to the Mew on the chat. He says cue Austin Powers theme for the Mojo Talk. Absolutely, one of the best films ever made, or series of films ever made. There's a few.
Well, I think Mr. Jeffrey's shown us some mojo tonight.
He's doing brilliantly, isn't he? Last season he was doing well and was the unfortunate recipient of some crashes, his own and other people's. As Roger Morton closes in on Tony Walker. Not seeing much of Tony tonight. That's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, if you're keeping out of trouble, it's definitely a good thing, because there's been plenty of bother tonight, hasn't there? There's been plenty of trouble. So if you manage to actually avoid it and avoid pit lane time, you'll be quite happy.
Yeah. Oh, and Roger got into the back of him there. In the first race, Tony didn't have such a good time. He was he ended up in the pits for quite a long time. In this race, he's up 7 positions already, and Roger behind him is down 6, and about to take another position is. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, I've gone too far back down the road. It was. Who was that? Oh, it was Roger Morton. With
Roger's got.
Sorry, Mark Draper is the car.
Got Mark Draper. Right to his exhaust pipe.
He really is. Sorry, I was getting Mark Draper's car and Tony Yates's car mixed up, because they both got purple on them, because they're both sim racing grid Honda cars, but one looks ever so slightly different than the other. One's more white than the other.
Yes.
Right, so heading back up to this. Oh, Gary Craig, flashing your lights. It's not big. It's not clever.
Well, these three are locked in fierce combat, and I can't see that stopping.
No, that's going to go on for a while.
I'm not sure who's going to get the better of these three, to be honest.
No. Right,
I think
so
that's a hard one to call, even on an overtaking friendly circuit. That's a hard one to call.
It is, and Spencer McCarthy has just put a lap on Andrew Littler. It's a big lap, so it's good that Andrew Littler's only getting lap now with 5 minutes to go, as Spencer's really hanging it out on the edges of the track. He has a whopping, and I mean whopping, 8.5 second lead over Stephen Walker, who's got just 1.8 seconds over Jamie Jeffrey, and who's keeping Sam Blease behind him, Alan. That's impressive on its own, isn't it?
That's really terribly impressive. And it's getting a bit late in the day for you think it's a tactic on Samsport.
Definitely.
So he does come late sometimes, but you can look out for that, because he does do that. But even so, we're getting well along in this now, and he's been behind him for a long time, as you pointed out.
Yeah. And
So,
good evening on the chat to Premier Din, who is apparently called Dennis. It's going very well, mate, and good to have you viewing. He obviously knows the Mew very well. And Gary is about to do something. He's on the outside of Matt Elmore. 2 Velosters into turn 1. Can Gary stay on the gas or get on the gas early enough? Oh, I tell you what, Matt Elmore did very well there to be able to get traction that quick.
So the cars are so closely matched, aren't they?
They are.
Closely matched drivers, you know, it's really tough. And of course, you've got Jamie sitting there just waiting, hoping against hope they're going to interfere with each other.
Yeah, it's, you
He'll
know.
just nip past. We've seen it time and time again. So.
And these guys are very slowly, well, maybe not Matt Elmore, but the two behind are closing in on him and on Sam Blease, who is exactly that far in front. He's at the oak tree now. Still not managed to do anything about Jamie Jeffrey, which is interesting. Right, we've got loads of battles on track at the minute, so Stefan is absolutely hooning it into these corners in order to catch up with Ant Woodward, who's managed to limit the amount of positions he's lost in his first race in our TCR league. He's down 8 places because he was the pole man, and I fear he's about to succumb here to Stefan Goebel. Let's have a look at how this works out. And Ant really does have the optimal line, but he's giving it up.
Corner.
Yeah, very.
Corner.
And Stefan's done a great job there. Very sensible racing from both of them. Same things going on further back here. This is Mark Draper on Matt Flannery. We find this a lot, don't we, Alan? There's a period of time in every race where nothing much is going on, and then everybody's at everybody's heels. Carl Hardy is...
Matt's close behind them as well. Carl has had his hands full.
Yes, very much so. So Chris Needham is closing in on him quickly. Need to get back on current time with my event tracker. Oh, Carl Hardy's been off track, that's why. And he's... Oh, yeah, everybody overtook him. Let's have a look at this. Oh, this is... Oh, who's that going super slow? Hard to tell. Oh, it's Andrew Littler. He's letting him through. And Carl's got on the grass. Oh, and he's out there. So, Carl Hardy having to pay again for readmission to the track.
That's that wicked corner.
It is that wicked corner. Roller Coaster has claimed itself one pie eater. I mean, that's a big scalp, isn't it, really?
Don't want to see you out in the sticks, Captain.
No.
Dear me.
No, definitely not. Right, so Tony Walker is closing in on the back of Matt Flannery now, and rapidly so. Although he got that line a little bit wrong, he's managed to carry the speed forward. You want more speed through South Bend there, mate.
Good driving by Tony to keep up with get into it with Matt. He's a good driver, so.
And this is worrying for Ant Woodward. Wobbly is behind him. Wobbly is up 13 places, as is Stefan, 2 cars in front. You can see how dark we've gone now, Alan.
Yes. I like the dark, so. But it's not to everybody's cup of tea. It's not. But at least it stops them flashing the lights.
So, the Mew, what are you saying on the chat? I drive an old Toyota, engine braking is all you need. Not in this series, unfortunately, but Pete loves me showing up in chat. Yes, we do. Why are you not racing in this league? You need to be, because look at what you're missing out on. Tony Walker has now caught Matt Flannery. We're in the dying embers of this race.
They're not giving in.
No, he wants that 15th place. It's worth points.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh. And this is going to be a done deal now because, in theory, Tony Walker can't pass until we get onto back straight. So it's one car fits the track for all of that as Jamie Jeffrey under pressure here on the final lap. This is Sam Alan, I
Sam's
think.
done him. Yeah. Well, we.
Oh wow! Door to door.
Oh, goodness.
God, Jeffrey, give it to him. He's last season's champion. Nobody likes to see a champion win. Into roller coaster. I don't know where Spencer is. Has he already won?
Wow.
Yes, he's winning now.
Jamie's still got it.
Has he?
Oh, no,
yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Forwards. Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow.
Did he get it? He got it.
Yeah, the one we didn't see was Stephen Walker getting his win, as these three couldn't sort themselves out any better than what they were. As somebody's just crashed. As Jamie Jeffrey. He's incurred points there onto his finishing performance. Everybody's finishing in close company. This is ridiculous. Come on, guys, give us a chance. We're only commentators. Oh, Wobbly was at the back of that queue, and he's done really well there to finish 13 places up from where he started after all the shenanigans previously.
Absolutely.
Mark Draper, these guys are still to finish back here. He's just finished that one. Russell Cowell is really far down.
What happened to Russell?
I'm going to go and find out what happened to Russell, because something significant must have done. Oh, right, he went into the pits again. Why did he go in the pits again? Because he went off track again. Right, okay, let's have a look at this. He's a commentator from last season, so this is quite early in the race. Because it's a lot lighter.
Lighter?
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm being stupid. This is him straight line in turn 1. I don't think he hit the wall, did he? Oh, he did. Oh, well, that's the reason he's so far down then. I thought he'd managed to get away with that.
Yeah, I thought he got away with it. Clearly he didn't, did he? So he's been carrying damage.
I'll bring you all back to the darkness. Not the band, the time of night. So, yeah, that was just unbelievable. Oh, my graphic has worked.
That was a fantastic race, wasn't it? What a great race that was. Goodness me.
It says TCR in the corner. That's thanks to Victoria, who's my new partner, up in the corner there. What does Mew saying? I don't do iRacing, I'm crap. Rather watch the decent lads do it right rather than me spending my life staring at Barry R. Who's Barry R? What the hell? I'm sure that's in code. I'm just not sure what it is. Right, so let's go to everybody's finished. So we should have a results page. So if I click on that and I click on this, yes, right. So round 2 of the BSTV TCR challenge, if I can say it properly. Season 12. Can you believe 12 seasons?
I'm drinking to it because you've been making me neglect my whiskey with this race.
Oh, really?
Really?
Which one are you drinking? Are you on the Jura?
No, this is Glenmorangie.
Oh, Barry R. Barrier. I am so stupid. Cheers, the Mew. Which one are you on? Glenmorangie?
Mm-hmm.
Normal. 10 year.
It's 12, isn't it?
12, sorry. 12.
Yeah.
Very good choice. One of my favourites. I like the Glengoyne. Sorry.
Yeah,
I do disappear off into weird tangents, apparently, about whiskey. So, Spencer McCarthy was your race winner tonight. And by night, I mean, look at the picture behind it. It's very much night time for Geodesic Racing.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It means I can read the names really easily. Oh, dear. The Mew. I knew you'd get onto food and drink sooner or later. Absolutely, mate. I've got some pistachios that I'm going to crack into. Not that far away. Anyway, Stephen Walker finished second on a brilliant drive for Spectre 6, the number. Jamie Jeffrey finished third for CCR. And what a result that is. He kept some of the best races behind him tonight for a very long time. And much respect goes to Jamie Jeffrey. Sam Blees finished fourth, last season's champion, for Geodesic Racing White. Matt Elmore finished fifth for Spectre 6, the letters. Gary Craig finished sixth for BSTV. Seventh was Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. Didn't manage to get his third place from the first race, but seventh is very good as well. Eighth was Stefan Goebel on his first season back with us. That is an excellent pair of results for VTS Esports. He didn't do too well in the first one, but eighth is great in the second one. Up 13 positions from his start. Ant Woodward, brilliant first race. Ninth in the second race is also excellent for your first race in this league. For Never Quit Racing. 10th was Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink. Much better. 13 places up from his start position because of his first race. JB Dejoux finished in 11th for BSTV. Carl Hardy 12th for Safeguard. Chris Needham 13th for Air Smart Racing. In 14th we had Mark Draper, Sim Racing Grid Honda. 15th, was Tony Walker for Spectre 6, the number. Matt Flannery was 16th for Geodesic Racing. Roger Morton finished 17th for Safeguard by Result. Russell Cowell finished 18th for Spectre 6, the letters. Jason Haddington in 19th for Air Smart Racing 2. Tony Yates finished 20th for Sim Racing Grid. And if I press this, 21st was Andrew Littler for Result Clothing. Arnaud Chenonnier 22nd for Air Smart Racing. And David Ayres, we didn't see his ultimate demise, I don't think, but
we did.
Oh, did we? Oh yes, sorry. Straight on at turn 5, yeah.
Yes,
or
turn
that 14B.
Weird off into the wall.
4B,
very
sorry.
Strange.
Yep, very odd. It looked like a hardware failure to me. Maybe we'll find out in the chat. He finished last, 16 laps down. The Mew, some epic racing tonight, guys. Kudos to you, all of you, and I can't echo that more. What a great night's racing from these guys. Thanks to all of them that turned up. A big grid often leads to very exciting racing, and this has been no different at all. I'm going to set us off on some replayage ready for when we do the interviews. I'm going to get some names to show. Look at that. This is if I know what I'm doing. I've not got a clue. Months into this. What's Clyde saying to me? He's talking about something completely different, so I'll ignore that for as long as I can. And the queue of people that we need to speak to is massive.
Yes, massive.
So, I shall start with... Who won the first race? Was that Sam? I think it was. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
He drove away.
He did drive away, and in the booth... Oh, he's muted. Wake up, Sam. Oh, well, he's going to get evicted back to the interview room because he's got his microphone off. So we are going to go forward to race 2 winner, who won by roughly 6 weeks. Spencer McCarthy, good evening.
Good evening. I've joining you from the future.
Excellent. Which future are you from? Race 2?
Just about 8 seconds in the future.
yeah. 7.6 was the official result. You had... where did you finish? You were second in the first race, weren't you?
Second first one, yeah. I massive apologies to the whole grid, really. Particularly Stephen for that mess at the start. I mean, I hold myself to probably blame for a lot of that, where I kind of concertinaed everyone up because, I was in a different place on the track, obviously right under Stephen's wing. Gary had just had a little wobble on the grass going through turn 2, I think it was, or whatever it is, 2 or 3.
1.5.
And then, yeah. And then I just, because I looked out my right mirror, and then it was like, right, headed to the next corner, and then saw brake lights. I'm like, damn, brake too late. And then I just tapped Stephen. And then I was like, please collect it. And then I was like holding back a bit, but then just concertinaed everyone up. And then I think that caused a lot of the mayhem because people were 3 wide and stuff. So
yeah, I think whilst you made Stephen's night a lot more difficult, his recovery drive was something to behold.
Epic.
It really was epic. It was immense. And we'll be speaking to him shortly after. You'll be glad to know from Gary's post just now that you are the current championship leader.
Amazing.
I know, you've got to come back next week.
Well, we've got 11 drop rounds, haven't we? I think that's all right now.
I think you may have misread that. I think that was 2.
Okay. It was a typo.
2 drop races, which is not rounds this season. I should have mentioned that to everybody viewing at the start, to be honest, so I'll cover that later. But race 2, you picked them up and put them down behind you, and got to the front, and got yourself a very tidy gap. And it was starting to come down at the end ever so slightly, but I think that was more you probably managing tyres,
you might want to.
fuel,
I don't know if you
else.
looked at the replay on that last lap. As you see me come up the back straight, maybe kind of cue it up so I can talk you through the good line that I had coming up that straight.
Did you do something silly?
Maybe.
Let's have a look. Oh no, I've not got anything at the. Oh, hang on. Let me go back a bit further. Have I got
just coming up the back straight.
If only it was that easy. Hang on a minute. Where's green flag?
I'm enjoying these slow-mo replays.
I know.
It's really great.
It's good, isn't it?
I've ruined the slow-mos. Sorry.
You really
No,
have.
no, you're okay. I'm
there we
quite
go.
happy.
So let's go to this.
I am. So yeah, they're on the big telly. And
Spencer McCarthy. Right, we want before that, don't we?
It's a bit dark, so yeah. Sorry.
To be honest, it was very dark.
Did you enjoy the dark?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I think by whatever, how many laps we did, I was kind of used to where we were going by that point, so probably could have done it with my eyes shut, to a point. But yeah.
Yeah, it was quite. It struck me as being quite unusual. It was nice. It was nice. I think it was rather some dramatic.
Oh, hang on a minute. Did you go through the pit road?
No.
Oh, I'm a lap after then. Did you go through the pit road on your cool down lap?
No, I didn't. I went through the chicane just before, as the other track joins up. There's a chicane halfway up the straight.
Yeah. That's part of West layout. What are you doing?
Well, I just taking the Joker.
The Joker lap, right? Yeah. Of course, because why wouldn't you? Actually, that was pretty controlled, to be fair.
Oh yeah, I planned it. I actually did it the other day just to see what it was like, and I went into it a bit too hot last time. But yeah.
So for all of those watching that actually raced, that's Spencer taking the piss. That's class.
Steven said something in game at the time. Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, well done." Or something.
Yeah, along those lines, just without the swear words.
Something like that.
Yeah, of course.
No, it was second race was good. I mean, we caught obviously the guys that come up. Jamie Jeffrey was, I think I was battling him for a bit, and I think he then sort of switched on and thought, hang on a minute, I'm going to follow this guy and try and drag me away from Steve. Maybe he could sort of hang on to a position. So I think after a lap, he kind of used his noodle and sort of thought, well, this could work out in my favour. And then obviously, Ant, it was good to have a couple of newbies in the grid as well. So Ant was obviously got on pole in the second race, so he did really well, I think.
I think so. I think there was a point at which his tyres just vanished underneath him. I think he cooked them, to be fair, and then in the second race he moved backwards rapidly at one point, and then it kind of just levelled off, and he managed to finish 9th, which was good. So he'll learn from that, I'm sure, and we'll speak to him in a bit. But what a great start you've had to this season. What's your points difference? Oh, you're hang on. Oh, right, you are what's that? 7 points ahead of your own team. Oh, well, your sister teammate now, Sam Blees.
Yep. Okay.
So I would take that and run off with it.
Absolutely.
Too right. And of course, we were racing officials yesterday, and I think that for those people watching, and being sensible, how much value do you think it is to race this league and race the officials at the same time to give you that racing practice?
I think I think I wouldn't do the officials. I think if it was a choice, I'd do the league, not the officials. Number one, because I think the nature of it and the friendliness and the people you meet and working together and getting quicker is just in its own bubble in the league. Mm-hmm. I think having the league mirroring what the officials are doing, it's just like you can just kill two birds with one stone. You're practicing for the league, practicing for the official. We all have we effectively, some of us go into the official together as well. So it's just, it's great fun, really. It's just, it ties up really nicely. I think I only concentrate kind of on one, maybe two officials a week. I don't really try and do too many. So having it dovetailing with the league is, it's great fun.
No, that's well said, and good advice for the people watching. It was brilliant watching you race tonight. As it always is, you are the man to beat now. You've stuck your head out, head and shoulders above. Yeah, the pressure's on, mate. Pressure's on.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. I can't do it as well as Russell does it, but
no.
Nobody can.
It's good to see him back on track again. Good to see him out there.
Yeah. He's a fast commentator, isn't he? So, brilliant racing tonight. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and practice for, and I've already forgotten where race 2 is going to be coming round 2 is going to be coming from.
Sebring?
Oh, Sebring. Of course it is. Of course it is, yes.
Yeah. No, looking forward to that. Shout out to obviously you guys. Alan's back. Yay! Yeah. Hopefully fit and healthy, which is good. And then, just the rest of the guys. Obviously, shout out to Stephen. Hopefully, I didn't ruin his night. I think he sounded happy a minute ago, so I'll go and talk to him and get a bit more. Sam, obviously, and just to iRacing, really, for hopefully producing a much more balance of competition now, so we can all use different cars.
Honestly, it's so good.
It goes.
It's so
Fingers
good.
Crossed.
Yeah, seeing multiple different types of car at all points in the race. It was brilliant tonight.
Yeah,
the Elantra Cup is dead. Long live TCR.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, brilliant.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
really great night's racing. Really fantastic.
Cool.
Exciting.
See you next time, Spencer McCarthy.
Cheers, guys.
Brilliant to interview Spencer again. Right, who are we going to go for next?
We're going to try for Sam again.
Let's try Sam again. Why not? He was up there at the start. He's now off mute. It's his second time in the booth tonight. He just doesn't realise it. Sam Blees, good evening.
Evening.
Sheepish Sam Blees. Race 1 went all to plan. Very nice. Got a win.
I couldn't have planned it better.
Couldn't have planned it any better. It has to be
How
said.
did you get away like that, Sam? What happened there?
I got a decent start. So actually, I jumped the start slightly.
What?
But I didn't
can't
move
admit to that.
enough.
This is broadcast to all the other racers.
Well, yeah, but iRacing didn't pick it up. So I let go of the button too early. Then I put it back on immediately. So I only moved like a foot, and I think you have to move a certain distance before it penalises you. So I moved very slightly, and then it went green. So I just let it go, and I got a decent launch anyway. But it was enough to actually distract Spencer anyway. So he completely balls his start up.
He did, yeah.
I went round turn 1, and then all hell broke loose behind me, so I just carried on, and by the end of lap 1 I was nearly 4 seconds clear, and I was like, well, just going to drive round and finish this race then.
Me and Alan were like, what is going on here? Why is he so far ahead? Now we know. And you either managed the lead very well in the first race, or stop them eroding it too much, because the gap did come down.
I made a couple of mistakes. I wasn't pushing really because I was trying to not get any instants and stuff. So I pushed quite hard on the last lap to try and get the fastest lap, but I was a tenth or two off it. It was just I was just keeping an eye on the gap. I knew Spencer had a little bit of damage, so I didn't think he was likely to catch me very quickly. So I was just sort of not cruising, but keeping an eye on it and not pushing too hard and making any mistakes.
Yeah,
apart from the one or two I did make that one.
Yeah, and race 2 happened, and you started 8th. You didn't make the forward progression that I expected you to. I don't know whether that's because it's just VIR, and for a good proportions of this lap, it's one line, isn't it? One car fits the line, and that's it. But then you pitted, came out way higher, obviously, than where you were. I think you popped out behind Gary. Or am I making that up? And then made your way forward.
Behind Mark.
Oh no, sorry. Yes.
Then he pitted, and then I was behind Jamie Jeffrey to the end of the race.
Yeah, and either Jamie did a fantastic job of driving the Elantra, or you just couldn't find your own way around him. One of those two facts is true. But yeah,
no, I could introduce a third fact here.
Oh, go on.
I had nowhere near enough fuel.
Oh, really?
No.
Goodness.
So at the start of the race, I took a slowdown. I was actually up to 6th, I think, halfway around lap 1. just out of the sort of sector 1 of lap 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a slowdown and I dropped to about 10th or 11th.
Right.
And I was working my way back up, and I was coming through with Gary, and I was catching them. And then Tony Yates, whose car was just disappearing and reappearing at random, appeared stationary on the apex for me, and I ran straight into the back of him. So I had some damage from that. And the car was sort of okay. The wheel was a little bit off centre. I was driving it sort of as well as I could, but I wanted to pit as early as I could. But because I was behind Gary and I'd been saving fuel, my calculator said 14 litres and you can pit on this lap.
Right.
And I did. I took 14 litres and everyone else took 17.
Right.
16. So, yeah, for the last 10 laps, I was having to save nearly 10% of my normal fuel usage per lap. So it was actually very useful when Jamie came out in front of me, because I wouldn't have made it. I don't know if you saw it. Coming out of the final corner, I was ahead of him.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I ran out of fuel. It just spluttered, and he got it. I mean, not to take anything away from him, he was driving really well. He was placing the car really nicely, and the pace was good. And I needed that. And without that, I don't think I'd have finished at all, or I'd have had to have waited for somebody behind me.
Yeah.
To follow them around to save that fuel. But I was. We were able. I thought, I might have enough. I might have enough on the last lap. And then, come out the final corner just with my nose in front. We'd done the final sector side by side. We ran out of fuel on the run to the line.
Yeah, we were on cameras with you when you were side by side.
It was backwards and forwards, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah. Oh, it was so exciting. Backwards and forwards. We didn't know who'd got it. And then I saw you going. I thought you got it. I saw you in front. And then...
Well, I if I had had enough fuel, I would have got to the line first. I just ran out before I got there.
We were watching and we were one because he was doing a fantastic job of defending, keeping in front of him.
So
it was good.
Were you holding back? Did you have that little bit of stretch? Was your car okay? And it was fascinating stuff, Sam. Really fascinating.
It's such a shame because I think, had I had enough fuel, I could have chased Stephen down, and I think I don't know if I'd have passed him, but I think I've got there because he was at one point he was only 1.5 seconds ahead of Jamie.
Yeah, it was pretty close at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'd had the fuel to attack, I could have probably stuck with him and maybe made a pass, or at least had a battle. But yeah, I just had to make sure I got to the end because otherwise I'd have dropped 10 to 15 places, taking another stop. So I just had to save the fuel. It's my own fault. I just pitted too early.
I was going to ask you something else there. The number 1 plate. How much pressure does that put on you?
I mean, I know we all know everyone in the league. We all race together week in, week out, and we know where we're likely to be. So I don't feel any different this season to what I did last season, and it's nice to see all the new people here. It's always good to have new drivers in, and it's lovely to see a big spread of cars this time. We've got all 4 cars represented nicely. We've got what looks like a really solid balance of performance. We've got people able to compete in all the cars, and that's lovely to see. So there's a little bit of added pressure. There's a couple of really quick people come in. There's some new people come to the league that haven't really driven these cars very much before, and that's excellent to see, and that's great. But I don't think it adds any pressure. I think it's
been there and done it, Stan, before.
Well,
been there and done it, mate.
Yeah, steady shoulders. This one, steady shoulders.
Hopefully, I could do it again.
It's it's just because it's so close at the top, you can't call it. So you know what I mean? It's endlessly interesting and fascinating because you just can't call it.
Both the races today decided with luck. Right, Spencer, me, and Work were all on the same pace. I'm pretty sure. And I know he's not here tonight, but David Johansson, when he's back, he's right there as well. So we could see some real 4-way battles going on here, and I think that's great for us. It's great for the league, and it's great for the broadcast, and I'm really excited about that. But tonight, as with anything, there's 50% pace, 20% racecraft, 30% luck in getting to the end and getting the results you need, because you can drive the perfect race and still get taken out of lap 1. Well, it won't be the perfect race, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the sentiment there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not to take anything away from Spencer, but equally, my if Spencer and Stephen hadn't tangled in lap 1 on the first race, I'd have had a much more difficult time, and it might not have been a win for me. It could have been either of them. So, it's good to see, and I think the pack's a bit closer this season than last as well.
Yeah, I mean, the incidents from race 1 have played into that, haven't they? Because a lot of people got caught up in the mess.
Yeah, they have.
So, it makes for interesting viewing.
It did. It was a fantastic race.
It really was.
Both races were great, really.
Yeah,
very exciting.
It's a shame to have the big incidents at the start of the season, but they happen, don't they? It's racing. They happen in real life, and they happen in sim racing.
Yeah, and Race Direction, which, by the way, secretly, don't tell the viewers, is also me, was only one more car incident away from throwing a full course yellow.
So, I did wonder. I saw
it was
that
pretty
in my
messy.
Mirror. I saw the cars picking off, and I'm like, I'm going to win this easily, unless Pete throws a yellow.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting. I was just waiting for it to come up.
Honestly, I was right on the bubble, and I was like, oh, just one more crash. One more car in this pile.
Is that as close as you've been?
No, of V8s.
We did one at Imola, didn't we?
And Imola, yes.
Season, yeah.
That was proper messy, that Imola race.
Yeah.
So it's unusual to get a race that messy, but this one got close. So I was on the bubble. It has to be said. We've got Sebring. Oh, have you done any officials?
I know a couple, yeah.
Ah, right, okay. And have you sailed to the front of each one of them or not?
No, I haven't won one yet.
Yeah, what?
Two second places.
Really?
No, wait, no, that's a lie. I did win the first one. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
I wasn't supposed to. There was a 7K guy in there who was a little bit quicker than me, but he got a slow down, so I won. And then I came second in the other race I did.
Ah, okay. So we were talking to Spencer about how valuable it is to race in a league and race in the officials, and he was saying, racing in the league is the better education. And you're driving with, people that you trust. You can race door to door, etc., etc. And we absolutely acknowledged, it has to be said. And really, it's the same in the V8s. So you're learning your craft next to people that you can trust, and you know those people that you need to give that extra inch to, either because of netcode or because of their own ability. It's really interesting and valuable information, isn't it? And then you go into an official where everything is random, and any result can happen, but you're more geared to winning. It's one of those situations, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you learn is awareness and avoidance. And in officials, a lot of the time, you don't get that because you're not racing closely with people. Like, you might have a couple of people in your sort of rough pace bracket, but if someone makes a mistake or something, you're effectively just hot lapping for half an hour.
Yeah.
And a lot of different people, you might only get 5 or 10 or 15 sign-ups quite a lot of the time, and often there's a very big spread of pace. So the officials, they can be good and they can be populated, and hopefully they will be better than last season, and hopefully the changes will bring some more people out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. There's no substitute for racing with people and people you trust, and just it's pack racing. The stuff we do on the league nights, obviously, but also on Monday and Tuesday nights in Carl sessions, stuff like that, is invaluable because you're just, no one cares what happens really outside of the league races. No one cares if you get taken off or whatever, but you learn that you can't do that corner too wide, or actually, you're not close enough to make that dive, which you don't really ever get a chance to practice in officials unless you're very brave and or stupid, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does make a big difference, and it's something that I think makes everyone a better driver. And there's a lot of people in this league that have 2 or 3 KI rating that if they were racing officials regularly would be much higher, double in some cases the numbers they're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're getting some grief for the length of the interview, but I'm going to string it out a bit further now.
I'm getting grief.
Yeah,
you're the interviewer.
I know.
That's your problem.
I know that first world problems, right? That sounds like a me problem. Yeah. Well, there's a queue. So there's Gary. There's Russ. There's Matt Elmore. Anyway, so next time out we're at Sebring. Hopefully it won't go dark there, like it did tonight. You do well at Sebring, don't you? Because I remember your results from last season.
I did well last time, but the time before that I crashed twice.
Oh.
So it's hit and miss, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At Sebring, I didn't enjoy it at all until last season, where I finally found a bit of rhythm. But yeah, it's not a favourite, but I think it'll be okay. I haven't driven the modified track for a long time, and I think the bits I struggle with aren't in the modified track. So I'm hopeful.
You mean
I'll
hang on? Do it. We cut out hairpin, don't we? And a few other.
You cut out basically everything. So you go through turn 1, and then you turn right and go through
back round
Le Mans
again.
and around Sunset. Yeah. But Sunset is different. Sunset is a tighter, later apex.
How can that be? It's the same corner.
No, it's not the same corner. There's a different. Like you have to basically go straight on where you would normally turn right, and then turn right later. So it's a more. It's a bigger braking zone and a tighter corner on modified.
All right, fair enough. We'll look forward to that. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you
go? Thanks to you as ever for hosting and everyone involved in sort of arranging and planning and everything. And it's good to get the season off to a start. Bit of a shame we had some incidents, but these things happen. So great to see some new faces. Great to see some quick guys coming in. And great to see Alan back in the booth.
Yeah.
Good to have you back, mate. Hope you're recovering well.
Oh, thank you, Sam. Yeah, yes, I am. And there's nothing like an exciting night's racing to make me feel better.
Absolutely. Good. And I'm sure a generous measure of your favourite tipper.
Indeed. Well, I wish we could get these interviews on with a bit of rush because that was suddenly empty.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll leave you to it, guys.
Thank you very much. Sam, please.
Cheers, everybody.
Good night, Sam.
You're going to go and charge your glass?
Yes.
You go and do that, and I'll interrogate the next individual. The next individual being Stephen Walker. Good evening.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, gangster. Right, where? Can't believe I just did that.
4th in the first race, 2nd in the second race.
See, you're on it like a car bonnet, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, and that was, topically accurate. In terms of race 2, hopefully you are absolutely stoked. That's an Australian term, by the way, that I learnt from watching Neighbours in 1992.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Stick another what is it, shrimp on the barbie, something like that. We need to get Vincent in. Anyway. 2nd place in race 2, 4th in race 1. You are currently 3rd behind the geodesic queue in the championship overall, according to Gary's stats, which we have to respect and bow down to. That's a reasonable start. You got lifted off the track in race 1 by the race 2 winner. He said there was all sorts going on, and he was already out of control by the time he gave you the helpful nudge off the track. Hopefully there's not too much bad blood in
that. Nah, it's just first race, first season, everyone's in different cars. It's like, just, we all went into that corner. I was trying not to understeer into Sam. I was on a shallower line, so it was a lot easy. It would have been easy for me just to understeer straight into him and hit him, and he would have gone off in the same way that I did. So it's just one of them things. Even if I had stayed there, those two were a lot quicker than me. I was struggling with practice a little bit. I haven't done a lot. I just did some last night, found a bit of pace last night, and I was, to be honest, I finished 4th in that race through other people just deciding to throw themselves off the track. Right. So I appreciate that. Shout out to all them. Peace up, A-Town. So I don't think I would have finished. I think I would have finished third at best, and I finished fourth. And so it was good that Jamie. I think it was Jamie that got a podium in that race. It was fine. It's not a problem. It's just one of them things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No. Well said. And obviously you swapped car numbers with Sam Blees. He ran off with race 1, but he didn't have it all his own way in race 2 by any means. You managed to finish 2 places ahead of him and minimise the damage, I think is the best terminology.
You say that, however, I can't remember who, I think it was Tony Yates, who had like connection issues at the start of the race.
Oh, mega issues. Like connection all over the place.
Yeah, so I got 8 times purely from him, from just appearing in front of me, and obviously I didn't know where he was, so any gap between us was probably negated by the incident points that I got. Unfortunately, through no fault of my own, but it's just one of them things. Internet connections can go the way of the dodo and extinct, so it's just one of them things, really.
I know more about that than anybody else. I was the one...
it's not, obviously it's not his fault. It's fine. It's just like I say, finishing 2 places ahead is irrelevant when I have that. And had he not had to save fuel, he would have caught me and passed me because he had quicker pace than me. So I mean, I take that third. I wasn't expecting anything. I've barely done any practice. Absolutely, I've grown fonder of the Honda again. It's good to be able to. I think it was all. I think the only car that didn't finish on the podium this race was the Audi. I think. So I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
And it's good that Russ chose that one, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's clearly a strong contender at this track. Whether it will be at any of the other tracks, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bit more even. Maybe it was just on that back straight. It just had a really good advantage. I don't know if it'll translate to other tracks depending on the corner before the straight. But overall, it's good to see a mixture of cars. Everyone's in it. Everyone can be within a shot of a podium as a bare minimum, depending on what happens. You know what these races are like. It's good to see so many cars out. Thanks to you guys for putting it on. Just it's good fun. I had a lot of fun, particularly in the first race, making my way through and overtaking people. I've not had to do that for a while, so that felt good actually.
It's cracking. It was a cracking drive, Stephen. It's great to see.
Yeah,
I'm loving the look of the car as well. It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it's nice
chose those colours. I chose those colours a couple of days ago, and I was like, Russ, can you do this? He was like, you give me like 2 days to do it. I was like, yeah, but Russ, you're the king painter. You're the bad boy MC Rogue. Do you know what I mean? Like, if anyone can throw a paint on this and upload it, it's you big man. So smash it out, innit?
Why is Cap saying you want to watch Disney?
Oh yeah, because I didn't want to be in there as long as Sam, because I've got to go watch The Mandalorian because it's like fun.
Season 3, isn't it?
Yeah, season 3, episode 3.
Oh, awesome! I'll be catching up with that later. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go and watch The Mandalorian?
Like I say, obviously you guys putting on the Big Man Show. Good to see Sir Owl back. Good times, Spanky Holic. I don't know what's up with me. I'm just actually gibbering. The rest of my team, my brother had issues with his computer. We'll have to go around to his house, sort that out. Russ for crashing, but getting all the paints ready and smashing it out for us all and being a top guy, and Cap for having a good recovery race, and everyone else. And yeah, it's nice to see loads of people on the grid. I think there's a few people that'll be back next week. Should be even closer racing all the cars. It's just exciting times to be a TCR driver, isn't it, guys? Yeah,
it's really exciting.
Yeah,
it is.
We're living the iRacing dream for at least one more season.
The grid looks fantastic, and the cars coming down as they through the first corners in the first section, they look fantastic. It just looks so exciting and so really full on. It was brilliant. Virtually better racing than.
Yeah, in the words of Russ, it were good racing.
Yeah, and on that note, we will say good evening to our pure gangster, Stephen Walker. Good evening.
Peace.
So, crazy. Oh yeah. We've not got a Jamie Jeffrey to speak to. He's too posh for that. So we will move on in our longest interviews ever. String of interviews to Jamie Wilson. Good evening.
Jamie.
Hello. I'm going for the speed run for shortest interview. The clock starts now. So I did have a good race in the first one. Just squeezing past all the incidents and everything. Got lucky with that. Needed to buy a lottery ticket. Didn't really have an answer for the two up front. And then the second race, good fight with Gary and Matt. I was trying to push Gary up to Matt, but he failed. So, yeah. That's it. So, yeah, shout out to you guys for putting it on, and see you next time.
Good evening, Jamie Wilson. No, seriously, though, a Honda and a Jamie Wilson and a Team Chimera car on the bottom step of the podium. What a difference a season makes.
Yeah, very much so. You're affecting my split on this my split time on this interview now, so... I'll leave it at that. I'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye.
He's gone. He's literally gone. That's hilarious. Anyway, next into the booth.
I didn't get a chance to say how well he drove tonight.
No, and you're not going to either. So that's the end of that. That was probably the funniest interview ever.
He drove awesome tonight as well.
He did. It was brilliant. Who do we need next? We've not got a Jamie Jeffrey. I can't be arsed speaking to Matt Elmore. He's still in the booth as well. Oh no, gonna have to speak to him.
What about Ant? We've got to talk to Ant because he.
Ant Woodward. Where did he finish in the first one?
No idea.
Hang on. Hang on. I'm
he
gonna
had
go
that
have
amazing
a look.
start, didn't he?
He did.
In the second one.
Race 1, he finished in 8th. Oh yeah, because he started first, didn't
he? Yeah.
Where did Matt Elmore finish? Oh, he finished he was dead in the water, and he finished in 5th in the second race. So, let's go and get Ant Woodward.
It's his first night as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, hopefully, in the booth right now is Ant Woodward. Good evening.
Evening.
Are you listening to the broadcast by any chance?
No, it's just falling asleep.
Oh, falling asleep.
Just
okay.
woke me up.
Wake up. Yeah, that's all Sam Blease's fault. You know that, don't you?
Well, I've learned one thing about TCRs tonight.
Yeah, go on.
Sam Blease is the Tyler Newitt of interviews.
Yeah, it's only 6 hours between the first word and the last word. But anyway, you did remarkably well for your first.
Remarkable.
It was brilliant, actually. Where did you finish in the first one? Just a minute. I'm gonna have to go. Was it 8th? Yeah. How much pressure did you poop yourself a little bit at the start of the second race?
Well,
was there a little brown nugget knocking about?
I finished 8th, and with someone really close behind me in the first race. If I'd have known, I would have let them pass.
Really? Oh dear! It's a lot of pressure, isn't it? It's a lot of pressure.
I had no place being there. I needed to have started in 10th probably. If that, I was probably 15th fastest today. So. I excelled.
You totally weren't. That's such a lie. No. You undersold yourself horrendously. You were 8th fastest because that's where you've ended up in the standings.
It got better as it went, but I'm still, obviously learning the car. I still don't know whether to brake left or right foot, and I'll take that today. Top 10 in both is fantastic.
When we see your feet in the V8s, you're dancing a brilliant. To a brilliant tune. You're doing, the blipping as you downshift. You're doing the proper brake throttle situation. We've seen it many times. So this car can't be any more challenging than
that. Well, I think it needs to be left foot brake. You need to left foot brake this car.
Well, in order to get on the gas faster, you mean?
Yeah, I think all of that, and just be over the brake while you're in mid corner, just to maybe give it a tap, just to get the nose down.
Yeah, because there's a lot of that. Because everything's at the front, isn't it? And
Yeah, exactly. So I think as soon as you get on the throttle and you start to nose out, maybe cover the brake, stuff like that. So even during practice, I was experimenting with both, and then because I'm not able to get the big brakes done with my left foot at the moment.
Right.
Because I don't have the feeling for the big brakes.
Yeah.
So turn 1 and all of that business. So I was doing that with my right foot, and then immediately on, as soon as I'm getting back on the throttle, I'm covering the brake with my left and braking through corner. So I nearly shared the cam today because it might be interesting to some people, but it was too risky that I'd end up in the middle of it, just pressing all pedals with both feet. And spearing off and making a fool of myself, so I didn't. In the end, anyway, I stuck to right foot braking and just trying to concentrate.
I think you did very well for right foot braking, to be fair, because you're right. You can do trail braking and all sorts of stuff with left foot braking, but we saw your new Never Quit Racing livery. It's just passing the screen at the minute.
Looks great, isn't it?
It looks great. The Wild Rides emblem on the side of the car looks brilliant. Simability, your principal sponsor after
team sponsor.
Team sponsor.
Yep.
It's great to see you guys represented in TCRs. And yeah, it's been great watching you racing. Next one's out is Sebring Short, or Modified, or whatever the hell it's called. It's certainly going to be a challenging race. I don't think it'll go to... Actually, I think it's officially a late evening, so it would go nighttime, but we've discussed this and we're going to start them at 5 o'clock if they are any later than 6 o'clock on the official start time. So it will be similar to this. Are you looking for a better result there, or are you looking to ground yourself in this season and then do something more dramatic next season?
Just see how it goes. I do like Sebring, but I've never driven the modified version. I don't know about that. So but yeah, Sebring's one of my better tracks. So hopefully I'll be a bit more likely to get a top 10 there, even though I did this time.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I
mean, first time out, I think you're doing fantastic. You know, you should
absolutely.
Be happy, so.
Thank you, Sir Alan.
It's my pleasure. It's still, I'm delighted.
I just wanted to stay out of trouble. So, like the first race, I could, you got 20 people faster than me behind me, and I just, I was just lucky to just get away, I guess.
I'm so familiar with that feeling, my friend.
I just wanted to pit early so that they could all pass me in the pits, and then I was out of all the trouble. 0 incidents on the feature race.
Wow! Really?
Wow!
That's
God!
Fantastic.
That was kind of the aim.
Like that.
That's unbelievable. We don't do a safe driver award, but no, I feel like we should now. We do it in most of the other leagues, so I think I might start introducing that one.
Yeah, really, that's amazing.
Yeah. Any shout-outs you want to make?
Because other people do take notice, don't they? People do work hard to keep their incidents down, so it should be.
Too right.
Yeah, I'm not normally very good at it, but I got 10 in the first race. Like,
yeah, well, that's kind of more like what you'd expect, because it was fast and furious out there tonight.
No,
it really was
a good set of results. That was for your first race in this league. There's some super fast guys in these cars in here, and you went toe to toe with them, so that's fantastic. Any shout outs you want to make before we let you go?
So team sponsors Simability, the team which is only me in this league, so thanks to me. No, only joking, thanks to the team. And who's the league sponsors? Is that you?
Just BSTV at the minute, yeah.
Thanks to you then.
Awesome stuff.
Cheers, boys.
Stacey was in the chat earlier on, so she's been cheering you on, and hopefully seeing your overtakes. We'll see you at Sebring. Ant Woodward.
Thanks.
Good night, mate. Right, so my page sometimes is a good contributor.
He's really good racer. So, ignoring all the easy stuff of racing, Alan, we've got the hardest job of all, which is selecting our racer of the evening or driver of the meeting. So I'll run through my logic and see if you can pick out a viable candidate that's not Roger Morton. You see what I did there? Anyway, so Spencer, obviously he's run away with the points, so we can't give him the driver of the meeting because he's already celebrating. Stephen Walker did very well in the second race, got absolutely done over big time in the first race. but still managed to recover it on a miracle recovery drive to 4th place. I mean, that can't go unmentioned, even if we're mentioning it just now.
Especially on a track like this,
Absolutely. I mean, what on earth? Yeah. Jamie Jeffrey finished, was it 4th or something like that, or 5th in the first race? He's finished 3rd on the podium, didn't bother to join us in an interview in the second race. And what a great result. I know he races cars in real life, but that is standout.
Absolutely.
Sam Blease won the first race. Kind of struggled because of his own fuel gauging in the second race, so he's out of the running for that one. Matt Elmore, he was flashing his lights. That's enough said for that. Gary Craig, same. Jamie Wilson, podium in a Honda in the first race. That may well swing my decision. I don't know. Stefan Goebel, 8th in the second race, had a terrible series of events in the first race, but his first race back with us. And then Anna Woodward, who we've just spoken to, really quite competitive in a car that he's not driven very much. Who else down the standings? Russell Cowell, first race, did very, very well for a commentator. Second race, got caught out by lots of things. Have you got a favourite in that pile that I've just described?
Well, interesting.
It's going to be Roger.
The Jamies, to me, the Jamies kind of have it, and it would be a toss of the coin, really.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same place as you. To be fair,
there's. I felt so sorry for David having that bizarre off that he had.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
I felt sorry for him. That was awful, but. Everybody's been trying hard, and it's just, I think the Jamies just were fantastic. And was very noticeable in my eye a lot. Stephen did his great drive through, but both of the Jamies did a fantastic job, and it's a toss of the coin. So which one are you going to have?
Go and find yourself a coin and tell me which side that lands on.
Well, I think you should have the new boy because he deserves high honours. So I'm going to go for Jamie Wilson.
Right, okay. So
he did great tonight.
And I think that's a very, very sensible vote. Jamie Jeffrey, for me, has been the standout boy for this evening. He did really well in the first race. He did even better in the second. He managed to keep behind him some of the best racers that this league has to offer. Yes, he races in the real world, and so he's got a working knowledge of how a car works and how a car races. But I have to say, what a great race from Jamie Jeffrey. So he's getting my vote for this evening, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, absolutely deserves it. And if it wasn't, there's nothing to call between them. I think both deserve it. Yeah. Great drive by Jamie. He did so well. His pace to be so consistently quick. These guys at the front of this race is no kudos to him.
Too right. So everybody else has left the interview room. Like I said, they got bored when Sam was talking. We will see you next in this league next Wednesday. That's the 22nd. I won't be in the booth. That'll be Clyde. Because I've got other commitments. It will be at Sebring. It'll be the modified track. It'll be the short version. And it will be just as dramatic as this one. Hopefully all those people that weren't able to make it today, particularly David Johansson, will be able to join us in that one and make it even more of a spectacle. Tonight has been brilliant. I am going to say good night to everyone, and thanks for all the racers, all the viewers, and especially to Alan for rejoining me in the booth. We will see you all next time out. It'll be a blast, and this league will continue through season 12. So thanks to everybody, and good evening to all. I'll hand you over to Alan to say his goodbyes as well.
Yes, and what a pleasure tonight. What a fantastic racing. It's a real pleasure to be back here and celebrating this our wonderful sport together. Fantastic. See you next week.